Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Amar Elm, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Zach Armstrong, founder and CEO of Empowerment Fitness, who leverages his 20 plus years of military and leadership experience to help high achieving executives and entrepreneurs reclaim their health and vitality through personalized fitness, leadership development, and nutrition coaching. Zach, welcome to Front of Future.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, anytime. I always like to start from the beginning. So can you take me back on a little trip down memory lane to before you started Empowerment Fitness? What were you doing before? And then what really motivated you to step into this space in the first place?
I was active duty military. So that was what I was doing, commander in the Navy. It was weird. I know this is a podcast, but it's also on YouTube. So those on YouTube can see behind me that I have a complete gym in my garage. And so it was just a neighbor kept annoying me to ask me if I'd train them. And I've trained a lot of people over the years, but never at my house and never had really done it online. They kept annoying me and I finally agreed. And then she was like, hey, I have a few friends that could you train them, but they don't live here. I don't know. Let me figure this out. I'm sure there's a way to do it. And it started off like old school, sending Excel files for caloric input and like workout programs like that, just a headache. And I was like, this is a lot of work, man. This has got to be easier than this. And then it just led me down a path of trying to figure out things and to where getting a couple apps created that kind of curtail some of that workload, not just for me, but for the individual. You can't ask somebody who's super busy and hectic in life to, hey, here's an Excel file. Go fill all this out for your caloric intake this week. And we live in too much of an advanced society to expect that kind of level. That's like almost archaic now in nature, right? Like where now on my app, you could enter your meal in 10 seconds. And whether you've never entered the meal or not, you get to start typing in like chicken and it's going to give you like 100 different options of chicken. You just pick the closest one, right? It's just simplistic now and then things keep growing and I'll evolve too. So growing from there is how it started and how it's going.
Okay. So it just grew organically. You had a couple people reach out to you and then referrals came from that. And then when did you know, was there a moment, I should say, where it's, well, I can actually turn this into a business and I can make a living off of this?
It was actually my very first month. Like within, I don't like throwing numbers too much out there, especially on a podcast, but just for a reference, like I went from $0 to $10,000 within 2 weeks of when I moved it to online to where I went like you're talking to a guy who had not made a social media post in almost 10 years. And then I created a business account in which I needed to start posting daily. And I remember when I started it, and then like within 2 or 3 weeks of me like doing organic outreach, I went from 0 to 10,000 like in a couple of weeks. And some of that was just like that initial outreach. I've created enough goodwill and people understanding who I was over the years to have initial buy-in organically. It was mainly people I knew, but I knew, hey, if I could make it work that fast with people that knew me, that if they saw that in me, that maybe I could kind of create something even more with the online presence, which was unique to me because again, I had not posted in 10 years. And at that moment in time, I did not have a TikTok account. I didn't have an Instagram account, like any of it. I had a Facebook account and a LinkedIn account. And that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And I still don't own all this stuff. I still don't do Snapchat or
yeah.
I don't do any of that. Like
I feel that I try to stay off it as much as I can. It's super great for business. It's phenomenal for a business, but I just don't want to be scrolling on it and all that stuff.
yeah. So people will be amazed. You're like, oh man, you must spend a lot of time on social media. Like outside of what like my actual one-on-one with people, like talking either through messaging or people responding to something I post, I'm very minimal. I think people would be shocked. I still don't get on it much. The most I get on it is if I'm looking either for content ideas or going to look at somebody who's doing well in the space and maybe trying to learn from what they're doing. I don't think if you're not, I think as a business person or even in life in general, if you're not trying to learn, you're going to either get outpaced or you're just not trying to I think having that natural curiosity for everybody helps them in success and life.
100%. Let's dive into the offer a little bit further. Who would you say is your ideal customer? So I know it's high achieving executives and entrepreneurs. Is there anything else that you would add to that in terms of the ideal avatar that you want to serve?
No, I would say majority of the people that I work with, anywhere from 35 to 65 would be the main demographic, men for the most part. I do have outliers. I have people who are younger. I have a 73-year-old in the program who is an absolutely beast.
Wow.
But those would be my main demographics, but it's encompassing to all. Anybody who, you don't have to be an executive. Quite frankly, you just need to be somebody who's busy, needing, the main thing that I try to do is create framework in somebody's life to, and I'll tell everybody this, after 6 months, you will never need me or another personal trainer again. You will create every framework you need. That's not the best for LTV. For anybody who doesn't understand LTV, lifetime value of a customer. But I tell people that. And I would say 80-90% of my clients still stay with me after 6 months. And it has nothing to do with the framework. It has to do with the relationship that's developed. And so anybody who's looking for framework and habits creating their life to change their life, and it can be from a physical and mental standpoint, at no point do those two not blend together. Very rarely does somebody come into the program and not have an idea of a physical attribute, but at the end of 6 months, I would say less than 1% of the people actually comment about what they look like. No, those words don't come out of somebody's mouth. It's always about, I feel so much better. I'm sleeping better. I have more energy. I just feel better about myself. When I look in the mirror, I like what I see. And it's when they say that, they're not necessarily talking about a six pack. They're actually talking about them as a person, a little deeper than just six pack or
100%. Yeah.
losing weight. It's a more deeper aspect. So anybody who's looking to change their aspect, and it can be from mental, physical aspect. Like I said, I work with people who, I would say the main attribute of people are busy. Majority are parents or have a very responsible job and just looking for change. And like I said, it varies.
Yeah.
Super successful people or just people who are trying to make a difference in their life at the moment.
Yeah. I like that. I forget who said, I think it was Tony Robbins, but I love this where he says your physiology directly affects your psychology.
Oh, yeah, man, there's zero doubt, right? I'm sure he didn't come up with that on his own, but it's a great line. That's
Yeah.
definitely it's
So
true though.
it sounds like you're working with them for 6 months. Is it mainly one-on-one? Is it group coaching? What does that look like on the back end?
It's almost all one-on-one. It's very personal. It's so personal. On my property, I have ADU, and part of the program is I live in San Diego and Coronado, California, more specifically. It's so personal that I've had 13 clients. I open up my home to any client who's in part of the program to stay in the ADU. And I've had 13 clients come and stay. It's that personalized. It's very intimate. I only take on so many clients. I don't mind that. Like I know what I can take on where I get thin. And I've turned over majority of the business aspect to other people. And so I only handle client fulfillment for the most part. And then I'll do maybe the closing call if needed to.
Nice.
But
Sorry, go.
from my aspect, it's pretty one-on-one. And I treat it like I'm in the military. I get up at 4:30 in the morning and I start responding to clients anywhere from 5 to 5:30 in the morning, and I don't stop until about 5:30 at night. I usually put in 12, 13-hour days with clients. And then every Sunday, I wake up and I send a 5 to 15-minute Loom video to every client if we haven't Zoomed that week. So I work pretty much 7 days a week. And
Nice.
yeah, and if somebody responds to me, if I'm not on a call or something like this, they usually get a response with me within minutes. And that's how quick it is. It's how professional it is. It's handled in all that aspect. And it's handled if they're traveling. Like they tell me ahead of time. I had a guy this morning who said he's going to Mexico City last minute. He had a PDF report on all the local places he should go eat at, the menu items he should look at his hotel, the items that he should or should not order off it, and as well as a different structured in his workout plan that week for the workouts based upon the gym equipment available at the W in Mexico City.
Wow. So you're a workhorse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Fair enough. It sounds like you get a lot of fulfillment from working with these clients and seeing them transform. So I bet some of it doesn't even feel like work. And don't let me put words in your mouth, but I'm making assumptions here. When you
Yeah, go ahead.
go for it.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you only handle the client fulfillment and then maybe some sales calls. Is there like a marketing agency? How do you actually generate leads and book sales calls in the first place?
I have moved almost exclusively to LinkedIn, and it's
Mm,
for a couple of reasons. The main reason being I just find it a way more professional environment. I get no shows like anybody who make an appointment, but people respect their calendars and other people's calendars way more on LinkedIn
mm.
versus it's going to say Meta to incorporate both Facebook and Instagram. Not that you can't get them that way, but I would say my no-show rates on those type of platforms compared to LinkedIn is night and day. Just
Do you know roughly what the differences are?
for me personally, probably I would say I get like a show up rate around 70% on LinkedIn, whereas Instagram would have been, man, it could be 10 to 20% at bad times.
Wow. And are those like cold like leads that come in from an ad, or how does that work?
Which one, LinkedIn or
No, the Meta ads or the Meta in general.
when I did Meta, I did do ads and it
Mm,
was a combination of both.
got it. Got it. Okay. So LinkedIn exclusively, do you have somebody that handles that? What is that DM outreach? Is that sales navigator? What does that look like?
A combination, right? Ads, organic, sales navigator.
Interesting. What have you found to work best with LinkedIn ads? Because personal experience, we've had a hard time cracking LinkedIn ads for whatever reason. Like in terms of getting people to book calls, Meta is just so much more fruitful for us specifically. I'm curious.
How, what, my question would be there is like, what is your demographic and what is your price point or who you're going after?
Yeah, what's a B2B offer? It's just,
Yeah, so B2B is different.
yeah,
B2B, I'm B2C. B2B is a huge market on LinkedIn. You're competing with Microsoft types, right?
yeah.
With the B2B, right? If you're going after the same person, they're going on who you're going after, or what kind of sell are you going after? If you're going what, so if you're doing closer.io, you're HRO kind of person, right? So it's who you're going to go after, the human resource officer. Probably
No,
not much.
it's coaches, consultants, agencies. That's our bread and butter. But regardless, I'm curious for you, like what the funnel looks like for LinkedIn.
I just do an ad. I'll try to do something that I think hits pain points. Then it's a lead gen form. And then from there, I get their contact information and then they'll get reached out to via email, SMS, and phone. And from there, we try to book them onto a Zoom call. And then the Zoom call is usually 90% me. I don't handle anything else ish, but that I do handle.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So it's not, hey, book a call where they're looking to find a time on the calendar. They just fill in their information. So it's less friction in that sense.
I don't think you would have very much success if you did it the other way.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, on LinkedIn, I can see that. Unless it was like a big brand or something like that.
Had to be a big brand. And
Yeah.
even then you'd get sales resistance. Maybe someone in my space who's got that is Dan Go. He does no ads, but he has 500,000 followers on LinkedIn.
Okay, interesting. So the ad, is that a still ad? Is that like a video ad? What does that look like?
It varies. Depends. I do trial and error. I think some of it's seasonality. LinkedIn is still behind Meta when it comes to video. You're less likely to get video clicks, and that goes whether or you're doing organic or ads. If you go to LinkedIn, you post a video on a daily post versus an image, then you can see the impressions, and it's not close. But LinkedIn is definitely trying to push it. They're definitely trying to push it. You listen to any of LinkedIn podcasts where experts talk on it, or LinkedIn people come on the podcast themselves. They're definitely trying to push it. It's just
Yeah.
hasn't gained the traction yet.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. On the sales side, so you run 90% of it. Is there like another setter or a closer that helps in here and there or
I have somebody who I'm training for
okay.
sure.
Nice.
They're not a novice to the dialing. The dialing is where they're strong at. And so I'm growing them into a closer. And then when they get there, then they'll be doing dialing slash closing and another dialer will be hired.
Nice. I'm curious if you have gone through any training for sales specifically, and if so, what have you found to be the most effective in terms of increasing the close rate?
26 years of military experience dealing with people of all races, creed, cultures,
Fair.
colors. I'm literally just myself on a sales call. I'm just myself. I don't lie. I don't embellish. I'll tell somebody off the bat if I don't think they're a right fit. I will, I don't pressure, I don't sales pressure, and I haven't needed to. And it works. I think it works because it's genuine.
Yeah. Hard to compress that in a 12-week program. Yeah,
Yeah, and there's a lot of training too that comes with the military as well.
for sure. 100%. When let's say you were talking to new coaches that are thinking of getting into the fitness industry or fitness coaching, leadership coaching, etc., in 2025, with the current landscape of where we're at, where would you tell them to start when it comes to getting new clients?
I think it depends on the person and their likes and dislikes. There are definitely coaches out there. It's okay. But I'll give an analogy. Like the best lawyers are not usually the lawyers who make the most money. The
Mm,
lawyer who can market the best is the one who makes the most, not necessarily the best lawyer,
sure.
right? Usually the best lawyer is the one who's more worried about law and knowing and understanding it, but the one who can market it the best is usually the best. So there's definitely coaches out there who I 1000% think are great marketers, but probably not the best coaches. And
Mm,
as someone who has done this long enough and has a very intimate one-on-one relationship with high end clients, and then I also have an app to where it's lower end. I understand the dynamics with it. There are definitely coaches out there who push a lower end product and make it sound as if it's like the one-on-one when it's definitely not. And they're very good marketers. And I would say they probably genuinely like content and they probably genuinely like being well known. I personally would rather be less known by the masses and more known by the people I work with. So I'm a little bit different in that aspect. That's why I definitely prescribe more to the higher end and I probably prescribe more to LinkedIn.
mm,
That said, if you're someone who likes doing content and you can make impactful content, if you're someone who likes that, then going to Instagram and Facebook and trying to grow organically would probably be your best bet. If you're
mm,
not that type of person, one, get ready because it's definitely not easy. It's everything's a job. Content's a job. You have to
mm,
treat everything like as a schedule. If you don't, then you're going to one, it's very easy to get down on yourself. So easy to get down on yourself. You can go spend 2, 3 hours on a piece of content and then you get 5 likes. Oh man, that's not gonna bother me. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Not because you worried about people liking your content or not. It's because you just put in 3 hours of work and you
yeah,
expect something back.
for
So
sure.
I would say just be prepared. Like it's not easy. And
Yeah.
I would say probably 10 years ago, and I can't speak up to it because I wasn't here 10 years ago. I just have been in the space for a couple of years, 2.5 years. Even in the 2.5 years, the amount of how crowded the space has gotten is significant.
Mm,
Significant. There is a lot more people in the space. Now, in fairness, especially in the United States, there's a lot more people out of shape now too in that 10 years. And it continues to grow worse. So there is need for it, but just understand that there is crowded and it's not easy. And that first start is hard. It is
yeah.
hard. To get the ball rolling is hard. And you're going to learn a lot of lessons the hard way.
Yeah.
You're going to spend money on ads. You're going to do something wrong and you're going to learn. And then in 6 months, you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? That was totally wrong.
Mm,
Some of it you're not going to learn unless one, you either A, have a good mentor that can navigate you, or B, lessons that you got to learn trial and error.
yeah. That's,
And then with that, like just between when I've been on the last few years, the space changes. Like Instagram, the algorithms of Instagram have changed multiple times since I've been on it. Multiple times. And anybody who's in Instagram will understand, like in January, they went from how it used to work to a whole new thing. Like it used to be when you scrolled on your feed, and anybody would notice that on Instagram, you would see majority of your scroll was friends, people you knew. Now every 3 to 4 on your feed is an ad or a suggestion. And
yes.
that's changed hugely, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely geared more towards people having to pay for ads. So used to you could come in and do organically a lot easier than you can now. Like organic now is a lot harder on Meta because Meta has definitely capitalized on the
Mhm.
ads.
You can make the argument though that follower count doesn't matter as much
Yeah.
as potential virality or people engaging with the content. So you can grow organically still if your content is good because it will get dispersed to more people than
Correct.
just your limited follower count, which in some ways is a good thing for people that are on the lower end of the like they don't have as many followers, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then like just and then the organic stuff in competition, right? Like when you first start off, are you gonna be able to get an app? Are you gonna be able to pay for that? If you're not, then like you're gonna be competing against people who have availability of stuff that like people can click through, and now they have an app that does everything for them or helps them where you can't do that. Like these things are things to think of, and then so you need to think of avenues and ways to navigate that to where it can work for you when you first start off if you don't have the money to input in the beginning, because there's
Mm.
a lot of costs that are associated with it. Like it's things you don't think about. Like, hey, you want to do an email thing, a system. If you want this CRM to help out, this and like all of them are not
Yeah.
too costly, but when they start adding up on a monthly basis, your overhead goes from zero to $2,000 a month, like
Yes.
that, man, like
Yeah.
that. And it's the small things like I need
And that's
that,
not
I
even
need
half of
that,
it.
I need
Yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah.
the
And some of it you do need, and then some of it you'll be like, oh shit, I didn't need that. Like I could have
yeah.
definitely done without that. But then some things you need, like if you don't utilize AI, you're gonna be in the dust,
Yes.
in the dust. And the AI changes weekly.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
you can have your likeness and have videos created of you now if you wanted to.
It's
You can
nuts.
have
I have a couple buddies that did that and they grew their accounts ridiculously, like from zero to almost 50,000 followers in 45 days. And he doesn't do anything. Like he just created the machine and it's automated on N8N and then it just pumps out the content. Like that
yeah,
is,
and you can do it. One that's not to have a good level to where you can really get by people, even that it's not cheap. And you have to teach it. So when people go, oh, it's AI to create it. Yeah, your buddy did that, but he had to train that thing and he has to keep
yes.
evolving it. If he wants it to be like him, he has to continue to evolve it to make it sound like him, act like him. You have to teach it. It's not just something that he typed a couple prompts in and it was it. No, he
No,
had to
it
like,
took him a
yep,
month to build it out. It
yep.
took
It
a
takes
month.
a lot more. So if anybody's listening and hears that, like, it's not,
It doesn't happen in an hour. It doesn't happen in
no.
it takes a while. I'm curious with you when you think of your vision and goals for your company in the future and scale specifically, do you potentially think about doing a group coaching program? Is it something else, or I guess
I
what
don't,
would be that vision
I
that
don't think I will ever go to a group type thing. And there's people who do it, and power to them. I just find that ungenuine to the
fair?
highest degree. I mentioned Dan Go earlier, and I don't, full disclosure, I've been through, I don't know, 80 funnels of competitors at least
What you gotta
completely. Yeah. So going through Dan Go's funnel, right? No hit on him. He's grown a successful business. But when you go, hey, you're not going, when you go through his funnel and you get the sales call and you go, hey, you're going to be working with one of Dan's guys and it's $5,000 for 6 months. And oh, by the way, you get to see Dan once a week on Wednesdays for 1 hour for the Q&A with every client. That just feels disingenuous. It does. It's using a name to product something, which is fine, right? That's part of the world we live in, and that's cool. That's just not me.
Yeah,
Where I would think that for me, what scale looks is bring on coaches that I know or get to know that I trust, and then it turns into from a group thing to more of a, if you want to work with me, it costs this much. If you want to work with one of the guys who I will oversee and oversee everything that they do, then that will be how I scale. It would be in that dynamic to where I will have coaches that work for me or underneath me or with me, ever how you want to say it. I would prefer saying with me. I have coaches that work with me that they would be part of the system, and then it'd be somebody I fully trust to have the same or close to the same type of work ethic that I have towards them.
for sure. I want to be respectful of your time. What is the best way for people to reach out to you to download the app? Walk me through that.
So there's a lot of ways to reach me. LinkedIn's very easy, Zach Armstrong. Then you can reach me via email, Zach, ZAC, at myempowermentfitness.com. You can go on Instagram, Zach ZAC Armstrong Fit is the handle. Honestly, at this point, I've been on enough podcasts and stuff and things like this. So where you can just Google Zach Armstrong, ZAC Armstrong, and you're going to find me.
Awesome. Any final words before we wrap up?
No, I think I'm not really sure who the audience is per se here. If it's more people trying to learn how to close,
It's,
if
it's
that's
mainly coaches, consultants, and agency owners.
mainly, yeah. So if I was saying, if I would just say, if you're thinking about doing it, realize it's not easy. You need to put in work. And then when you start putting in the work, I would say majority of people give up pretty quickly. And if you don't give up, I'm not saying you're going to be successful, but your increases go up significantly.
Yeah. 100%.
And so just have that mentality. Like you're going to have hard days. There's a lot more hard days than easy days, especially in the beginning.
100%. Zach, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
So that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to reach out to Zach Armstrong on LinkedIn. You can also email him, zach@myempowermentfitness.com. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from zero to $30 million per year in less than 3 years and how you can use similar strategies. Until then, keep on climbing.